All right, here it is. Donkey Kong Bonanza review from IGN. Let's get it.
So I hear you want a new 3D Mario. If that means you're looking for a console-defining platformer with satisfyingly expressive that unleash the innovative mechanics for a console-defining platformer with satisfyingly expressive movement, innovative mechanics that constantly evolve, and expertly crafted challenges that unleash the interactive potential between the two, then I'm beyond thrilled to share that Donkey Kong Bonanza is all of that and so much more.
Oh, he about to get us to 10. He about to get us to 10, y'all.
It's a brilliant successor to that masterpiece.
Ooh,
a
Michael
tremendous reinvention for one of Nintendo's original mascots, a groundbreaking adventure in every sense of the word, and one of the best 3D platformers I've ever played.
I feel like he about to get us to 10. By Logan Plant. Shout out to Logan Plant.
Bonanza honors DK's various incarnations over the decades while also fearlessly punching through a mountain to forge its own path. It tells a light but sweet story about DK and his spirited sidekick Pauline pursuing an underground legend that will allegedly grant them one wish. Pauline hopes to return home, while DK just wants more bananas. The deeper the pair dives toward the planet core, the deeper the gameplay becomes. Nintendo builds each new 3D Mario around one big idea like Sunshine's Water Pack or Odyssey's Captures. Mario is nowhere to be seen here, but in that same tradition, Bonanza's fully destructible environments suit a hulking, rampaging gorilla far better than that plumber. And this exciting concept is truly fit for a Kong.
You could go Gear 4, Gear 4,
in this world
Gear 4,
is designed for
Kong.
DK to punch and break, and the extent to which Bonanza commits to letting you tear through its environment is both technically impressive and a ton of fun.
Indeed.
DK is powerful, and that's regularly reflected across a fresh set of abilities that are endlessly enjoyable to pull off. Simply tearing a chunk from the ground, which you can do almost anywhere, leads to so many dynamic possibilities. DK can hurl it at airborne enemies, swing it to break through walls, bounce off it to double jump, or surf on it to get around faster and safely.
I want to know what. Hold on, I want to know like what's DK's like if we're doing like power scaling, because I know about power scaling. I'm not like super into it like a lot of people, but like where does Donkey Kong sit in power scaling? Like is he like he's like building level? He's at least building level, right? Because he could, you know, he's at least building level. Somebody let me know if y'all power scalers come across this
terrain. When he's empty-handed, he can punch in any direction, slap the ground to instantly gather loose gold and reveal nearby collectibles, and perform a satisfying roll-jump-roll combo cut from the same cloth as Mario throwing Cappy and bouncing off him for extra distance. Plus, he takes a page out of Link's book and can climb any non-slippery surface, granting an extra sense of freedom to the entire journey. Crunchy sound effects that change depending on the material DK's interacting with make it even more entertaining to wreck stuff. Like the loud crumble of breaking down a sturdy wall of stone, or the juicy splash of tearing into a watermelon. The controls for doing all of this are so polished, too, and when you chain together a combo, everything sings in perfect harmony.
The animations are dope, too. Smooth animations.
Bonanza's levels are called layers, and each one is a sprawling playground constructed to maximize the potential of DK's destructive abilities. There's so much to find both on their surfaces and tucked away in the hidden caves and tunnels you find by bashing your way through the environment. But Bonanza rarely relies on mindless destruction for the sake of it. Instead, it excels at rewarding discoveries by way of smart destruction, and it's remarkable how intentional and well-designed its dense vertical layers are. Visual cues masterfully draw your eye to areas worth exploring, similar to how veteran Zelda players know to place a bomb in front of any suspicious cracks. See a tantalizing fossil embedded in the wall? Chuck an explosive boom rock at it, and there's a good chance you'll reveal a new path to explore. Sure, the open-world nature of these maps means you can occasionally happen upon a collectible by skipping the intended puzzle entirely and just carving a tunnel straight to it. But in my experience, it didn't happen that often. It fits with modern Nintendo trends seen in games like Tears of the Kingdom, where the designers don't care how you get from point A to point B as long as you have fun doing it. On the other hand, Bonanza smartly walls off most of its main objectives behind terrain the nefarious Void Kong has turned indestructible, so it's not like DK can just punch his way straight to the end credits.
Okay, so there's some
What
level
makes
of
Bonanza's objectives more compelling is that it
linearness
isn't
to
really
it.
about destroying everything.
that's not a word.
Instead,
I don't
it's
care.
about exploring, platforming, fighting, and collecting in a vast world where you can destroy everything, which is an important distinction. It never feels like a gimmick or the only tool you have, but rather one integral part of Bonanza's larger design.
I'm gonna be real, and I've said this before in previous videos. This definitely should have been the launch title. This should have been the launch title because it is so well polished and well crafted. They should have just put this out first because there's no Mario. Well, we got Mario Kart, but no like single player Mario adventure. And we have Zelda, but that's just like a graphical upgrade where that's how it should have looked in the first place anyway. But hey, there's a method to the madness over there at Nintendo. We was gonna buy it anyway because we was gonna buy it anyway.
Barely asked to create random tunnels with no guidance, and DK's upgradable sonar ability helped me find buried collectibles hidden to the naked eye. Pauline helps out with the search too, as she sings to reveal waypoints to collectibles marked on your map. That keeps the hunt for completion focused and fun, even if the camera occasionally struggles with the weird angles you force it into when digging yourself a nice hole.
But it seems like it adjusts.
Sub-levels is a blast, and the fact that I felt totally in control of the action, even with so much fast-paced chaos unfolding at any given time, is an impressive feat. I love how the world crumbles around DK. It makes everything feel more alive and really sells the heft of this character, like the way he leaves a crater when crash landing after a lengthy fall. Every world has something unique to offer,
I like
both
stuff like
visually
that.
and mechanically.
Small details
From the
like
freezer
that.
layer's icicles you have to knock down to create platforms, to the resort layer's liftoff ore that sends DK soaring. And Bonanza never stops pulling fresh ideas off the vine. Without spoiling anything, I was stunned at the ingenuity on display as I dove to some of its late-game layers. There are tons of different.
Yeah, I know. That's another thing I was thinking. Like when it gets to the late game, I know these levels are gonna get tricky as hell, man. I was thinking about streaming this, and I was just thinking about, yeah, when I get to the later levels, I might be on those levels for a while.
Of the world, with set rules to how they all interact. A simple example is how throwing ice onto lava creates a hardened rock platform. But the interplay between different elements gets more complex as you progress, and learning these relationships to solve increasingly smart puzzles is supremely gratifying. Those puzzles are often found in standalone challenge rooms scattered across each layer. There's a nice mix of fights, logic puzzles, and platforming sequences that offer a welcome change of pace from the open-ended explorable layers themselves. I was consistently impressed with how the challenges take full advantage of Bonanza's systems. After more than 50 hours, I'm still finding new
50
challenges
hours?
that mix and match enemies,
Damn.
materials, and abilities in brand new ways.
He 50 hours in?
One of my favorites is these boxes of blue and pink slime that are inverses of each other, where destroying one fills in the matching part of the other. Bonanza builds several brilliant puzzles off this one idea and gets similar mileage out of every toy in its toy box, forcing me to think about something I'd already seen before in a new way. On its own, exploration is gratifying, but it helps that there are great rewards for finding Bonanza's heaps of collectibles as well. Fossils are used to buy region-specific outfits that give you perks and a fun, fresh look. You'll also
I like
collect
those
mountains of
that
gold,
RPG
and while I was
element to
swimming in
it.
cash for the first several hours, trust me when I say collecting as much as you can will be worth it in the end. But the main collectibles are the Bonandium gems, which are comparable to Odyssey's Power Moons in that they're plentifully stashed around in places that are often challenging to reach. Unlike Odyssey, though, Bonanza doesn't require you to gather a certain number of gems before moving on to the next area. Instead, collecting 5 earns DK a skill point, which can be used to upgrade his health, moves, and Bonanza transformations. The skill tree doesn't have a ton of surprises, but it's nice knowing that grabbing a gem is always working toward a specific short-term goal. There are tons of gems to find too.
There's a banana!
I had found literally hundreds by the time I cleared the main story after 20 hours. I've spent 30 additional hours collecting hundreds more, and likely have several hours left to reach 100% completion.
So 20-hour
It's a
games, but
massive
it can last you
undertaking,
up to
but with how
50,
enjoyable
60 hours.
Bonanza is, I'm not slowing down
Even
until
more.
I've collected every last one. It's easy to track your progress as well, with a helpful list of your gems in each layer, and this really cool 3D map that accurately reflects the current state of the terrain you've destroyed. Unfortunately, that map does occasionally suffer from minor frame rate drops, as does the rest of Bonanza. The action generally stays
Yeah, I
at a
peeped
solid
that.
60
I peeped the
FPS
frame rate
docked or
drops.
handheld, but it can briefly dip below that when you're going crazy with the destruction. It's not great that we're already talking about any amount of performance issues on Nintendo's brand new console, but it's never too noticeable or distracting either. Besides, it's easier to forgive the occasional dropped frame when it's because so much beautiful chaos is happening at once. And the ambition of this fully interactable, destructible world is definitely worth that trade-off.
Exactly. I was gonna say with how much is going on and how much is being rendered on screen that's actually interactable, like you can literally destroy the entire environment or most of the environment. I would say like 90% of the environment you can destroy. You're gonna have some frame rate dips when you're going crazy, but so far from what I've seen in this video and the other videos I've done on this game, nothing looks too crazy. Nothing looks too crazy. Y'all let me know in the comments, like those that have played it already, like how you guys are experiencing it.
Bonanza really does look great, with expressive animations for DK himself and colorfully detailed environments, NPCs, and enemies. It also constantly pulls inspiration from DK history, with fallen girders from the original Donkey Kong arcade game and side-scrolling segments that reference classic Donkey Kong Country levels, including a lovely arrangement of Stickerbush Symphony that's just one tune in Bonanza's awesome soundtrack. This may be from the 3D Mario team, but Bonanza regularly pays respects to all of DK history, and at times feels like a modern follow-up to Rare's golden era from the Super Nintendo and N64.
Yeah, I had Donkey Kong 64. I played
some of the flashiest moments happened during DK's Bonanza transformations, a variety of time-limited power-up states. Kong Bonanza is essentially a souped-up version of DK, who can disintegrate harder materials you'd usually need a boom rock to break through. Zebra Bonanza is all about speed, while Ostrich Bonanza lets you glide through the air. The character designs are hilarious, and each Bonanza is accompanied by a catchy tune performed by Pauline. They all feel fleshed out and great to control, and even better, you can instantly swap between them when you're powered up, giving you even more flexibility in how you want to tackle challenges. You can only enter a Bonanza if you have enough Bonanergy, but you'll pretty much always have enough. Admittedly, this can sometimes trivialize otherwise interesting puzzles in the overworld. For example, the puzzle to grab this gem surrounded by poison water can be entirely skipped by simply gliding to it. That fits with Nintendo's recent love of designing puzzles where any solution that works is a correct one.
Right.
But Bonanergy is so plentiful that using transformations can occasionally feel cheap compared to the fun of actually figuring an obstacle out.
Right. I know I'm pausing a lot, but like I'm just so interested in this game. I have so much to say. Like, I hate when games force you to play it the way they want you to play it, like only one method works. I like when they just give you an environment, give you an objective, give you tools, and let you use the tools as you see fit to finish the area.
I was usually able to restrain myself from using these overly streamlined options, but if you were unable to resist Tears of the Kingdom's convenient but boring hoverbike, I could see them being a dangerous temptation. The sheer power of Bonanzas also come into play during the boss battles, which all have exciting designs, like this giant squid made up of dozens of smaller ones that looks ripped straight from Splatoon.
It does look like
to give the big bads a traditional health bar instead of using the expose the weak spot, hit it, and repeat 3 times Mario template fits DK's brawler-focused style perfectly. Still, thanks to the Bonanza powers, I defeated some of newcomer Grumpy Kong's creations in less than 30 seconds. That said, the late-game bosses put up much more of a fight, so it does eventually right the ship in that regard. Regardless, it's still fairly simple to reach the end credits if that's all you're looking to do.
Yeah, because I'm going to stream it. That's what I'm looking to do.
Much of the enjoyment comes from surprise,
at least
delight,
for the
and poking around for secrets
playthrough,
rather than white-knuckle difficulty. That's not a complaint, given how fantastic the mechanics are, and how many optional challenges Bonanza presents off the beaten path for veteran players who want more to sink their teeth into. And the gloves truly come off after the unforgettable finale of the story, with plenty of post-game content that continues to push you in more extreme, exciting ways.
Okay. He talking it up. I'm telling you, he gonna give it a 10. It sounded like a 10 the way he's talking.
Finally back to kick some tail in Donkey Kong Bonanza, a brilliant successor to Super Mario Odyssey, and a smashing return for a classic Nintendo character.
It's not a successor to Mario Odyssey, though.
Switch 2's first 3D platformer around DK instead of Mario, but it's proven to be the best decision Nintendo could have made. DK's satisfying, expressive movement and powerful, dynamic abilities create a truly groundbreaking adventure. The ambitious, destructible layers of this underground world are densely packed with satisfying collectibles, abundant charm, and clever challenges that never seem to run out of smart ideas, even long after the credits have rolled. Bonanza is a constant crescendo across its 20-hour campaign and beyond, with puzzle platforming concepts that only grow richer as DK and Pauline dive deeper toward the planet core. Every element comes together in complete harmony to create Nintendo's first Switch 2
I've been reacting to enough IG and stuff to know.
Executive Reviews editor Tom Marks.
Yeah, so I don't know why they do this. I'm sorry. I don't never watch this. And it goes on for like 5 minutes. But yeah, man. So Donkey Kong Bonanza, it's I'm loving the animations. I'm loving the colors, the graphics, everything. And it's just a callback to a time when we had games that transcended generations. Like, I could see kids really enjoying this game as well as adults. It gives you enough for a broad fan base. Shout out to the team. The 3D Mario team worked on this game, as they said in the video, and I think it provides enough of a challenge for older players that's been playing since they was young, and for younger players that have a Switch, because the Switch is touted as the family console. So now that they're keeping that same moniker with the Switch too, as well as they're trying to provide more core games. So this is definitely an experience I cannot wait to have, and I'm definitely streaming it. So be on the lookout. So yeah, but y'all let me know how y'all feel in the comments. All right, so you already know the vibes. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It's your boy JusticeXFalls, and we out. One.